Welcome.
We're here.
We're here.
We made it.
Yes.
Have you got your mic on? I don't know if anybody's here because I'm wondering what the sound's like. Perhaps you can put your earbud in and listen to it on your computer. That might work. So we're trying to get settled in on us this weekly live. I'm Shiv.
And I'm Samaj.
We're the Feel Better community, and we've kind of been, I've been told, they'll come here every Sunday at noon and do a sit. And this is going to inform us. This is a sit that is going to inform us. So we're here because we want to share tools and practices that help you feel better, which ultimately helps you deal better, which ultimately helps you feel better. And it's a cycle and a circle that we can get ourselves into. Very often we're doing things that we want to make us, we're feeling shitty, so we do something to feel better, and we do that, and maybe it does feel a bit better doing the thing, but perhaps once we've done the thing or afterwards, we don't feel better, actually feel a bit more shitty. I mean, there's this cycle that goes on, and we keep doing that, and what we want to try and do is take it the other way, and have a lot of experience of not feeling very good in my skin, in my mind, in all of it. So that's why I'm still here doing it. That's probably why you're here doing it as well, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So it's not that I've got everything worked out and my life is just peachy, because that's not true.
No.
I'm a fuck up. But I'm a fuck up that's trying. Where are you going?
Headset.
I'm a fuck up that's trying to work on what's going on, like you, right? And that's how we can do it. And we get to do it by noticing and being more aware of who we are who we are inside, from the inside out, as opposed to who we perceive ourselves to be in the outside world. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties that we're having right now. We're really trying to work out a good solution for the sound. So hopefully that will just improve as we go along. Samaj should be coming back anytime. He says he'll be right here.
I'm sorry.
So just a little distracting, but then that's it, isn't it? It's kind of all of those. Here we are. This is us putting into practice our practice, right? We're here, we're sitting with you, we're supposed to be here, and it's all supposed to be very calm. Samaj is moving around the apartment. I'm left with nobody's by my side. You're sitting here wondering what's going on. This is life. We can't always control what life throws at us, but perhaps we can learn to better control how we react to it, like this coming in and out. Here we go, you see? Awesome. Live TV, you can't edit it, you see. I can't edit it out. It's like, this is what's happening. It wasn't planned. He wasn't supposed to do this. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
Maybe the sound's okay, maybe it's not. I don't know. So we're trying to roll with it.
Sounds good.
What I can do is promise that each week we're just trying to improve, right?
Yep.
And that we'll be here. So here we are, the Sunday sit. Meeting ourselves here, making a commitment that no matter what's going on, we sit down and meet ourselves. It's not about meeting me. It's not about coming here to meet me. It's about you coming for you, and it's about me coming for me and him for him, right? And then when we do it together, there's something extremely powerful about that. And it can also be that when we do it together, there's a reason for us to come together. Because perhaps if I had not supposed to be here at noon, then I definitely wouldn't be here because I don't feel like it. Truth, right? Having hard weekend, challenging time for me for quite a few reasons. So this is why we do this. And I'm pretty certain this is why I've got the message to come here at noon on Sundays every week, because it gives me something, gives me an anchor every single week. I can't let one week run into another without meeting myself here at least at noon on Sundays, right? I can keep myself busy for the rest of the time, which is what we do, right? Busyness is one of our biggest procrastination tools. It's one of our biggest distraction tools. And it can also be very, very helpful, because who wants to, sometimes you just need to get occupied with something so that you can take your mind off of whatever it was. And that's what brings us into mindfulness and our meditations, because things happen in the now. But we still tend to rest either in the past or in the future. Our body is here right now. Our mind is somewhere else, right? And when we can bring them together and we can have that feeling of, oh, this is what it's like for everything to drop in, then maybe we want a little bit more. And it definitely is not something that you're aspiring to do. You're not going to be mindful in your whole day. But what you might be able to do more of is have more mindful moments, right? And our life experience is built up of moments. So the more we can make moments along the way, the more moments we experience. Hey, that's what we want.
That's what we want.
That's what they were talking about we went for coffee on Samaj's birthday. It was his birthday on Wednesday, sorry. Happy birthday, Samaj. We went for coffee and we were at the Nook. Cheers. I had my cortado cup, not my espresso cup, and he had his Danish espresso cup, not that one. But it sparked a conversation about the cups, right? And I said, well, I like my coffee to be an experience because I believe life is a string of experiences. And the more that we can make something an experience, then the more we experience a life full of moments. And that's just lovely, isn't it? It's what we want. So, did I go public or private on this, by the way?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Don't know. Anyway.
Oh, I can't see it from here.
So, but that's so being able to have these moments, right? But either with our little cups, making our coffee an experience, or coming in, or yesterday I was walking along the boardwalk, and as I said, I'm feeling more blah, 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 blah. But there's this beautiful bush in a garden with the rounded wooden bench. I love this little garden on the beach, and it has these flowers right now. It's a big ball like that, and it's got little stamens, and then they just kind of come away, and as they come away, and then they burst into flower. Now it's absolutely gorgeous, really, really pretty. I just stood there, having a moment of awe with this plant. It doesn't sound like much, but it is. It is in these moments, because not only do we get the moment, but they interrupt the long of shit stuff, right? Just a little break in there. So so I think we're going to go into the main sit. I have a feeling that I might not have pressed public on this one.
Okay, well,
as we went in, but I don't really know how to check that. So
we have our weekly question.
Oh, we do.
That we have not asked.
Okay.
Okay. So last week we asked, did you need a special place to meditate? So this week the question is, let's see, I have a couple here. I've been meditating a while and still feel sad and angry, insane emotions. Should I feel more peaceful? What do you think?
I know, right? Meditate to feel because you meditate, meditators don't get angry. They're really, really calm. So a person who meditates and has a regular meditation practice and is doing it properly doesn't feel any, they don't have any self-criticism, and they're very, level through everything. They don't get angry with people. They don't get upset about things. They don't worry about things. Actually, it's like a meditator's mind is just the most perfect place to be. It's just wonderful.
Right.
We'll
We'll all sign up for some of
We'll
that,
sign up
right?
for some of that. Yeah. I know all those people, right? I know all those people who can do that. It's not.
Absolutely.
Hey, Adisandra is here. We didn't go private. Yay, Adisandra. Can you hear us, love? Is the sound any better? Samaj went out this morning. And got
Hello. Oh.
It got us a different
shoot.
adapter so we could use the lavalier. So we're just trying to see. So, okay, let's answer that question seriously. Oh, the sound's good. That's excellent. We just had the question of I'm meditating and I still feel sad and angry, and shouldn't I feel better? Shouldn't I feel peaceful? And I was joking, saying that if you're doing it right, you would be feeling peaceful. No, actually, if you're doing it right, you're probably starting to realize that, good golly, it's a bit of a shit show inside, right? And that makes you want to run, and get busy with everything else. Because Pema Chodron says, we start to our meditation practice and we expect it to be all like, I'm this lovely, peaceful, loving person, full of compassion for myself and others. Except we're raging bulls who just want to go and kill people, right? And somewhere in between. And what happens when we start our meditation practice is we start to see some of the things that we can kind of gloss over, kind of not catching our mind's eye. Like, oh yeah, if I just keep busy going this way, I can't see all this shit that I leave behind me. And when we stop and we look down, we go, oh my God, is that really me? Do I really, what can I do about that? This is terrible. And so it's a bit like if you had mud in the bottom of a bucket and then you filled it with water and let it settle. You look at it and it's fine, it's beautiful. But then you get a stick and you stir it. Then you look down and you're like, it's all, that's our mind, right? The meditation is that stick. The sitting is that stick. And it needs to get stirred up, just like we're saying about coming in every Sunday to meet ourselves, right? Having that keystone, having that anchor, having that meeting point. It's the same with the stick. It's great. You can leave it looking okay, but any little jiggle from the outside environment, and that shit's going to be stirring up. And it's going to be stirring up at a time when you don't really have time and energy to deal with it because there's other stuff going on. So now is a really good time to deal with it. Now is a really good time to kind of get in there and let it and learn how to let it settle, learn how shitty it looks, right? Because it does. And realizing that actually it being like that is actually part and parcel of the whole thing. I was thinking about that when I was working out this morning. I mean, I was a mess. I was a mess. I mean, there was sweat coming from everywhere. I can't breathe. And it's a messy, just messy. And that's working out. Meditation's like that for the mind. It can be messy, right? That's our mind sweating. That's our mind kind of not really wanting to see, not wanting to push past. But then when you do, on the other side, you see, during your sit is then for you to then take it out into your life, and then how do you become aware of yourself out there? So it's not about the fact that you take it out into your life and you become calmer out in life. It's you become more aware of who you are out there, right? So it's the awareness of who you are that is what our meditation practice brings for us. It's what our mindfulness practice brings for us, and that's what we want to kind of anchor into. There's all kinds of things that we could do with guided meditations and things. But what I'm really interested in, what we're really interested in here at the Feel Better community, is tools and practices that actually have some real tangible result, like can really help us in our day-to-day IRL in real life, right? The real, not the unreal, right? And so, and things that we can incorporate, right? That we don't have to be big investments of time and everything else. Oh, Ma's here. Ma in the house.
Hey.
Mama Rose! Do you know how much I love you? So much. So we've got Samaj's mum in the house. Maros. That is so cute. So yeah, so it will look messy. You are messy and you are perfect all at the same time. That's the beautiful thing. But it doesn't mean, and when I say that, it doesn't mean that I sit here and think, oh, well, I'm all good, you know. It's not. I have a hard time. I have a hard time a lot of the time. So much will attest to that. But how can we be with ourselves? Because we are the ones that we're with, right? So does that answer your question a little bit?
That answers it. Yes.
Yeah. So you might be sad. You still, as a meditator, you're still going to feel all the emotions. You're actually going to be more aware of yourself. And actually, what you will do is you might start to become aware of a sensation that will then inform you how you're feeling. Because sometimes we don't know how we're feeling. We're feeling something, right? There's something in our tummy or there's something in our mind, and we don't quite know what, it's like, why am I feeling like this? You don't know. But when you start to get to know how you feel at certain times, you can feel like, oh, there's a sensation in my stomach. That usually comes when I'm feeling nervous about something, or that usually comes when I'm, preoccupied with something, and you can start to do some inquiry, because that's what we want from ourselves, is that self-inquiry.
It's the stirring of the pot.
The stirring of the pot, the bucket of you, the shit show inside.
The shit show inside.
It's true. You have a shit show inside of you, and I have one inside of me, and he has one inside of him. You see, we go around in this filtered world thinking that everybody's got their shit sorted out. Ain't nobody got their shit sorted out. Their shit's all in a show. It's a shit show. Speak the truth. Anyway, with that, I think we're going to do our little sit, because it's time to do that. I'll reach across and get my... So, talking of tools that help us in our real lives, we're calling it the Sunday Sit. It's a combination of bringing together mindfulness, meditation, and the concept of metta, loving kindness that we can cultivate for ourselves and for others, for those known to us, those not known to us, those we like and those we don't like, those parts of ourselves that we like and parts of ourselves that we don't like, for all things in all ways, that we can sit, and we can do it for all of those things. How awesome. So I like to sit, we're sitting on the sofa right now, and that is fine. I'm cross-legged. Sit how you want. Sometimes if you're cross-legged, sitting on a cushion that elevates your bum probably about this much higher than your knees, very helpful, right? You haven't got to be all like, ooh, and stiff. Somehow relaxed, right? Relaxed yet alert, because we are here in an inquiring, curious state, not in a nodding off, okay? So, if it feels comfortable for you, close your eyes. If not, just soften your gaze. And by soften your gaze, you can literally just take the eyelids down and look towards the floor. Right? You don't have to see everything all around you. And starting to take some nice breaths in. Now, you're not trying to control your breath here, but becoming aware of the fact that you are a living, breathing thing. Actually, a living, breathing miracle is what you are. As you breathe in, just feeling that breath that happens all the time. You don't have to tell your body to breathe. You don't have to remind it. You don't have to set an alarm for it to start. Even when you go to sleep, it's breathing. It breathes you. Your body breathes you. You can also breathe it. You can control it. But we don't always have to control everything that we can control. Think about that. So you're sitting here breathing, body breathing you. We don't always have to control everything that we can control. We also want to learn to better control the things that we can control, so that we don't try to control the things that we can't control. We want to try and do this with a kindness and compassion, without judgment. It's very challenging, all the things that we want to do. So we sit here with ourselves, meeting ourselves in an open-hearted, curious state. Just kind of really tuning into how we actually are feeling. And as much as social media wants us to put words to it, oftentimes the way we're feeling doesn't necessarily have words or explanation. It is complicated. But as we become more aware of where we are right now, some of those complications fade into the background because they're not here right now. The more awareness we can bring to where we are right now, the less we're spending, attention we're spending elsewhere. What we focus on grows stronger. What we practice gets better. We're good at practicing guilt and shame and judgment and self-criticism. We can do that. We're not so good at sitting in kindness and compassion and patience for ourselves, our journeys, and those around us. And when we come to sit like this, we give ourselves a respite, an interlude from all that negativity. And we give ourselves a little shot, like a little espresso shot, of what it's really like to be present with ourselves in the moment. Let's see where we are, feeling your seat bones, touching whatever it is that you're sitting on right now. Where are your feet? You can actually, what helped me with body scans is to actually touch that part. So take your hand, touch your foot. Touch your foot. What's big toe feel like? When did you last say hello to that big toe of yours? When did you last lovingly touch it? This part of you that wants to be loved, like everything else. Coming up to the arch of your foot and to the heel and up to the ankle. This is you. Hello. Hi, me. Then you can start taking your hand up to your calves and the front of your shins. The difference between the bone at the front and the flesh at the back. All these parts of you that make you up you. Your knees. Those clever knees that bend and do all kinds of things. This miraculous body of ours that works and does so much for us, and we do so little for it. And coming up to the top of the thighs. And we're rubbing up and down the legs, underneath the thighs. Coming up to the top of the groin, where your hips meet the body, to belly. The belly that is such a messenger, right? That if we could listen to it, if we could understand it, if we had the interpretation for its messages, it could be so valuable. Into the upper diaphragm. coming up to the chest. Oops, that's my microphone. The shoulders. So much weight carried on our shoulders. Such burdens sit there. Can peace find a way in? Is there a way in for peace? Can they drop a little? And then taking your arms across to feel down the tops of your arms, giving yourself a little hug as you do so. To your elbows. And coming all the way to the wrists and the hands, interlacing the fingers, rubbing the hands together, just feeling, like literally feeling yourself. Sounds weird, I know. How often do you do this? How do you know how you feel? Where these points are. Taking the hands to the top of the head. Taking an inhale here. And an exhale. Literally like you're giving yourself a blessing. It's okay. You're okay. And then bringing the hands down and placing them on the heart center, which is where we're going to have them resting. In fact, we'll have the left hand on the heart and we'll have the right hand on your belly. There you go. It's really nice to feel that connection between the heart and the belly. Taking your mind to a moment this week where you felt hurt or sad or angry. What sensations did your body feel? How did the experience make you feel? What shame and guilt and judgment followed the hurt that you felt? Isn't this the fucked up thing that happens? We're hurt, we feel sad, we feel angry. One definition of anger I like is that it's sadness turned inside out, right? It's all sadness. We feel sad and then we judge ourselves for that. And we feel ashamed, and we withdraw, and we don't have words for it, and we can't share it, because we share good stuff. We have to keep the bad stuff, and it sits and it festers. And we put on a smile when we go out, and we say, we're fine. I'm fine, but we're not. And we don't know where to put all of that. We don't even know where to meet it. And it goes and it feels lonely. And now you're sad, and now your sadness is lonely. And now you're judging yourself for that and feeling ashamed. This is no way for you to be. But it is okay. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to stay that way, but it is okay to feel that way. And so often we try to put it off, pretend that it's not happening, and it festers. But if we can sit and put a hand on our heart and feel the awareness of being here right now. We are in shelter. We're taken care of. There is no imminent danger right in this very moment. And you can start to feel a little more grounded. It is not going to solve anything. It's not about solving it. It's about how we can get through to the other side, because nothing lasts forever. It's what we can learn about ourselves along the way, how we react. What can we do with those reactions? How can we give them a place? Feeling that heart of yours, the capacity to love, so profoundly deep, limitless. The same with it feeling sadness. How can we hold these two things together? Let the love pour out. Let the sadness be felt. And create the space for more love. A harbor when we need it. A kind moment with ourselves. And now, bringing ourselves back to all that is around us. Slowly opening the eyes. You can take the hand away from your belly, and your heart. Perhaps place them on your knee. Can you feel the warmth in your palms, on your knees? And taking a moment here to how do you feel right now as you open your eyes? If there's a little feeling of calm, a little more calm.
Yes.
That even if it won't solve everything, there are times when we can just take a moment and sit with ourselves, not push through, not get busy, but just be here for ourselves and just keep meeting ourselves where we are. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep meeting you where we are, where you are, at noon on Sundays for the Sunday Sit. Who's that? London. London just jumped straight in. So we've got London and Addison. It's so awesome to have you here. We're loving this. Let me take those off. Loving being able to come in. And as I said, it's just going to keep informing us. I get messages all week from me. And we'll keep coming. Sunday, noon. Keep coming as well. Let's see where we end up. And have some fun along the way. I love you so much. If you're watching the recording, let us know down below. And if you have a question about meditation and mindfulness and practice or whatever, let us know. We're happy to answer it. We'll do one question a week. Okay. We love you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here for you. When we feel better, we deal better. When we deal better, we feel better. It's the new cycle, babes.